All right. So I'm excited because I had a big think, a lot of thinking about this game while lying in bed, and I realized a couple things. So first off, I feel a need to preface because I've given the genre a bunch of crap for the way that lore is hidden item descriptions, and I do think that is an elegant solution because that way most things that you get are practical. Excluding Elden Ring, where you get all these fucking crafting materials and whatnot, is too much. It's too much in that one. But because of Lies of P having a discrete narrative and being linear, and you getting items in a pretty undeniable, concrete way instead of the more Metroidvania, you have a choice in which way you're uncovering things. It makes it easier to kind of follow the path of the narrative, and I think I just prefer that more. So I'm not going to commit to lore diving in future Souls games that I play, but I've really been enjoying thinking about this game and its story and its potential future. So a few things. So one thing I don't think I really concluded because I was probably wanting to wrap up when I finished the last ending is Sophia's post game letter mentions that the Crot disaster is over. And like this whole game, I was wondering, okay, is the Crot disaster a separate thing from the petrification disease and the puppet frenzy? And no, it is a catch-all term that just refers to both in combination, because it's kind of a chicken before the egg thing. They are kind of one and the same, but orchestrated by different people, potentially for different reasons. Um, as I'm about to get into, but my notes are in a particular order, so just give me a second. I also just realized I forgot to double check something. Uh, so let me just. Okay, right. All right. Another thing is that uh, I'll try and multitask while I explain all this because we got some loading. Oh, we got a little Overture stamp now. That's cool. Don't you can't refund the DLC now. uh, so I kept praising the boss transition of the second last boss in the game. That is apparently, or at least people have concluded that that is supposed to be a reference to the painting, The Creation of Adam, where God and Adam are reaching out and touching their fingers, which I think says a lot. As again, it is this outer God, the one-winged angel, that is reaching out and touching Simon to give him a taste of immortality, as that's kind of the running theme behind everything here, in that almost a kind of Bacano style um, setting where again, Bacano, you've got these alchemists in the past that discover an elixir for immortality, and a bunch of people that aren't supposed to get it, and that kind of ties their fates together in the future as they keep encountering each other, almost as if they're drawn to one another. And then we have the whole thing with like Paracelsus, aka Giangio, who references like a community of immortals and the fact that the hand of God is like a possession of theirs. And another being has managed to achieve immortality, that being either Sophia or Pinocchio. Um, Now, I did see some things about whether Pinocchio becomes Carlo at the end, or if Pinocchio simply becomes his own person, because he doesn't talk and he just has a tear rolling down his cheek. Obviously, he knows how to feel, so he has become more than a puppet in that sense. But whether or not he has necessarily become Carlo or his own person is another story that I don't think we can really conclude.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Like being hugged by the sun.
Lore! I think that's the same dialogue for
It is a brilliant
the happy emote.
like the start of spring. Thanks.
You're welcome, buddy. I forget if I had any other loose ends in the thing here. We're gonna go back to the hotel so I can put on some music while I talk. Another thing I realized is Victor, the champion Victor, is probably a reference to Frankenstein. Frankenstein's monster, but the doctor is Victor Frankenstein. I know this because, well, I thought of this because Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein just dropped on Netflix. Oh, can we not use the, oh no, we can use it. There we go. Let me listen to the, yeah, Lysrum. Yeah, I listened to that again after stream. I really like Lysrum. It's really nice. I don't think I liked it as much initially, but on the second listen, I was like, oh yeah, no, that's great. Okay, yeah, so Frankenstein, I think that's a fairly obvious comparison. He definitely looks the part. And I think that is just, again, another reference to old novels. Feels very appropriate. I don't know if there is a timing or like location match between like the authors of Frankenstein and Pinocchio, but you know, there's something else there. So we then get back to the whole Krot disaster thing and the timeline where I kept wondering about like, okay, well, what happened? Is Crowd the star or whatever? And I do believe that is part of it. So the biggest lore drops definitely come from the Crowd report, and then the 3 So Said Pistris journals. If I can get these. And First Discovery Camille. We'll get back to that in a second. Can I find the Crowd report? Where was that? Yeah, this song as well, Shadow Flower, is fantastic. I am madly in love with this game. This has become, like, definitely one of my tops. Yeah, okay. So... yeah, 600 years ago. But I don't know if we have a timeline for when the angel showed up. Now, of course, because we have immortal people, potentially, things get a little unclear. And I do think that Crowd is probably the reason why Krot started breaking up, because Crowd seems to... it absorbs precious ergo spores. So when Simon was basically pulling everything toward the final encounter, the Abbey, that was probably like unearthing Crowd as a side effect of that. I'm not sure how much that was intentional. But yeah, we then have, I think in terms of the timeline, so yeah, so a wish that only the only paradise perishable humans can have. For thousands of years, their wish perished, but one reached a star. And then it descended to Earth, then everything began.
Close
A star that was curious about humans, pretended to be human, then became one. The humans saw its splendor and called it an angel. Although its form was the same, its substance was different. The undying substance, the breath of metal that lives forever. That is the reason humans wished for an angel. The angel gladly shared immortality with humans, but that blessing wasn't for everyone. True eternal life. It was a gift that something humans dare not enjoy. Many humans died with hope in their hearts, and the ones who lived harbored rage instead of death. Eventually, humans destroyed and burned their hope on their own. This is how the angel became the god torn to death. But today, there are definitely those who survived with a blessing. They, the immortal ones, still walk around and wish for the resurrection of God. I clearly told the truth I witnessed. So, the one-winged angel, the outer god, which had an arm. I don't know if they're if them having their arm yeah, so the angel became the god torn to death. So their arm got ripped off. I don't know if that is how it got its name of the one-winged angel. I don't think these actually specify its single wing, so that may have happened after the fact. So what I think happened is that God came down and unearthed Crowd, or it was part of Crowd. Crowd could have been a ship, a meteor that it rode in. It may have emerged from it. But I think that Crowd ultimately was the origin of all of this. In that, the ground collapsed, people discovered this ergo mine, and that became the relic of Trismegistus, which is all their stuff. And yeah, it was just deemed a stalagmite with ergo components, and then the petrification disease started to spread. And so what I think is basically happening is that Crowd is the or a source of ergo. There could be multiple aliens that came down, life forms, meteors, whatever, that the alchemists like Paracelsus, who again has existed for a long time, maybe back when this whole thing happened 600 years ago, because he's confirmed to be normal and immortal as per the ending. I'm thinking of too many things all at once. So God or meteor comes down, they discover it, they start using ergo as a power source, they use it to make puppets, and then the alchemists start experimenting with doping people with it, or the petrification disease occurs because of the spores that are being emitted, which then leads to trying to cure that. The process of trying to cure that leads to them discovering, oh, if you mutate and we harvest your juice, we get fresh ergo. So the finite source, that being Crowd, the meteor, is able to propagate and basically almost like symbiosis or like a parasite. It manifests in biological hosts, mutates, evolves, makes more mass, and then you harvest that extra ergo, and that ergo has also accrued the memories of the being that it inhabited, which then can be implanted into a puppet. And so I'm thinking that the reason it took so long for the first puppet with an ego, Camille, to develop is that ergo from Crowd probably didn't have any memories. There's also something else somewhere where they discover that, ergo is basically the life force of humans or whatever. There's something to be said. Again, god, angel stuff, whether they're related to humans, could be a progenitor race. Who knows? Who knows? Could just be coincidental. But at the very least, the quote-unquote manufactured ergo from human hosts is life force, contains memories, and Camille was probably one of the first, if not the first, puppet that was made using ergo harvested from a human being. And the other detail is that they wanted to be sent back to their child. They caught and saved a baby who fell from the crib. One of the... literally the last piece of lore that we got... I don't remember what it was called. I'm gonna see if I can find it. It was a letter. Letter to an old friend. Camille was Geppetto's wife and Carlo's mother. Simon and Geppetto were working together at one point. Obviously, things kind of fell apart between them, and they also have their own means of doing things, in that Benigni made the Grand Covenant, Geppetto manipulated it to cause the puppet frenzy. Whether that was... and again, it's unclear whether they were working together at the end or whether Geppetto was allowing himself to be kidnapped so that he would be able to take advantage of Pinocchio beating Simon and getting the arm of God, and etc. Because I think that was the ultimate reason why he was going to be able to bring back Carlo, essentially. And I think it's fairly obvious that we're going to either discover that Geppetto willingly, or maybe Simon is responsible for juicing up Camille and Carlo, and that's why Geppetto happened to have Carlo's ergo on hand to put into Pinocchio and make him, and hopefully have him recover his ego. So yeah, I guess you could say that in the true ending, Carlo does come back by that token, because he cries for Geppetto, and well, that doesn't necessarily mean he recognizes that, because Pinocchio is still made by Geppetto regardless, and likely still sees him as his father. Whether it's Carlo coming through, it's hard to say. I do really feel like a voice line, just a simple, like, I suppose even if he said dad or father or something like that, would still be conflated. But yeah, so this is a huge discovery, finding out the name of Carlo's mother. So that's why it's kind of appropriate to touch on all this lore stuff here. Some other things. Yeah, so I'm thinking that what the description of Pistis 2 is basically getting at. Yeah, so the undying substance, the breath of metal that lives forever. I think these are the spores. And the petrification disease is technically the gift, because it is technically a type of immortality that allows them to convert into an immortal form and can be harvested with their memories basically preserved forever. And again, it's this thing where its substance was different. We don't understand the world of eldritch beings, outer gods, etc., that come from a different plane of existence, like the dimensional butterflies. So, if they're made of a different substance, they perceive reality differently. They might be thinking like, oh, if you turn everybody into these petrified trees and they communicate via spores and blue raspberry juice, they're immortal. And I have improved the humans can now live forever. I did a good. But then many died with hope in their hearts, and the ones who lived harbored rage instead of death. The carcasses didn't die. They got angry and violent. So we now know that the puppet frenzy was engineered, but the carcasses were not. That was them hulking out, that they felt that they were basically betrayed by their god, who promised them immortality, but gave them a disease to evolve them, essentially. And that's what the alchemists were preaching. And some achieved it. But evidently, the carcasses presumably tore the angel apart. The various pieces are probably kicking around. The immortal gang with Paracelsus and whatnot. But we've got the arm of God, at least one of them. And they wish for the resurrection of God. So eventually, yeah, they're going to collect and probably reassemble the various parts of the god after they've done their research into different ways of achieving immortality. And we experienced one of them through puppets in this game. And so like, I don't know much about old folklore, fantasy novels, etc., you know, Frankenstein, Pinocchio, Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz is supposed to be like a dream, right? So people are theorizing like, okay, if Dorothy's the next character, she might be the playable character. We might play as the Tin Man, as a different person. Pinocchio might be the Tin Man. There's a thought that she is waking up from a dream. I think there was actually something in here that referenced that. I'll see if I can find that real quick. But basically, people are saying like, okay, so Lies of P, the next game might be called like Dreams of D or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, there was one journal I saw here referring to the first key, and Dorothy is considered the second key. Where was that? Hello, Mod. Sorry for the lore dump. Oh, speaking of Mod, here's the scribble of a slum resident. But yeah, here we go. This is the doctor with the blue hair. Whose blue hair is it in his cane? Where was it? Yeah, here we go. The key has escaped. Yeah, we never found this hidden absolute commands, but we discovered a way to bypass the Covenant. And then RK puppets. Okay, so Harkonia, whose name I now remember. I was complaining because I was like, oh, Boss was so cool, but I can't even remember her name. Yeah. And by the way, Mod, I wanted to tell you over voice chat, but like I just couldn't gather the effort to join VC anytime this week. So the boss that was super cool, you can check my previous VOD. It's like in the roughly about halfway through it. Basically, the first boss. So the DLC has what I consider to be the worst boss in the game. Not because of its moves, but it's too big and it doesn't cooperate with the camera. And I think if they shrunk it, it would have been a lot better. No, that does not have a boss health bar. There is a boss that you fight after that, which is just a giant crocodile. And it's a cool moment when it breaks through a wall, But yeah, it's big and it thrashes around and it's kind of hard to read because it's almost too big to fit onto the camera, and it pushes you up against the wall constantly, and then the camera starts clipping into you, and it just becomes hard to see what the boss is doing. So it's not that the boss is like the move set is designed poorly. It's awkward, but I could have learned it if the camera wasn't constantly fighting with me. But then you get the best boss in the game, which is basically, if you're familiar with Astral Chain, the platinum game for the Switch, you're basically fighting a puppeteer that is dancing with their puppet. They're controlling them with strings, and every time, and they interact independently. However, the puppet can't act without the puppeteer giving it a command, and when she issues a command, the strings turn red, and with every command issued, her fingers that the puppet strings originate from pulse. So you can focus on the puppeteer as the main boss, because when you defeat her, the fight is over. But even when you're turning your back to the puppet that she's controlling, you know when the puppet is about to attack, so you know when to defend it. So you're fighting two enemies at the same time, but you're really just fighting one really complicated enemy with incredible design language. It's fantastic. It is so well done. This game has so many creative boss fights. Andreas, Black Rabbit Brotherhood, again, the Phase 2 cutscene for the second last boss in the game, and now Harkonia. All of those are just like some of the best, most creative Souls-like bosses I've seen, and I still maintain the Black Rabbit Brotherhood and Harkonia are probably two of, if not my two most favorite Souls-like boss fights. But yeah, so the key here, I don't know if they're referring to two different people like Geppetto and either Romeo or Carlo, but yeah, there's something to that. Can I find out? Hold on, who has the first key? Five of the first key. It's all just stuff about Trinity keys. No. If Dorothy is second key. No. No, I can't find if they refer to that at any point. Okay. So two other things. So the word ergo itself. So I think that's a fairly obvious Latin reference to cogito ergo sum. I think therefore I am. Ergo is therefore. It is the interstitial between I think and I am. There's also a different interpretation or translation where it is ego and not ergo. There's one which is like I think I am, and it's literally like ego blah blah ego. So I think there is a bit of a pun there about, again, the puppets obtaining an ego and then becoming something else, evolving. There's also, I also mentioned how the with the whole Sophia thing and mentioning how there's a time travel aspect, which explains why there are 3 endings with 2 canonical New Game Plus runs. The intent is for you to play through the game multiple times, that you are constantly being basically sent back and repeating everything to try and achieve the true ending. Something that Shadow Hearts, which very thematically similar, honestly, achieved back in the day with with how you're supposed to get the bad ending in Shadow Hearts, then get the true ending in Shadow Hearts 2, which tells you how to get the true ending in Shadow Hearts, which then causes Shadow Hearts 2 to not happen because you achieved the true ending. And I think that was incredibly creative. And so this, much like how Dark Souls uses the, oh, time is convoluted nonsense to explain why you can respawn, basically anytime you die in this game, time is being rewound back, like your clockwork springs, which is what the death screen has happened. And then you go back, you retrace your steps, you get your ergo, and then eventually you triumph and you move forward. These specters, which I never summoned, use a character model very similar to Pinocchio, with longer, pure white hair, and a body made of like a spectral blue, dark blue substance, similar to Ergo. Longer hair than even the long hair that you get in the game. This suggests that this could be like yourself from the future coming back. Anytime you fight a boss that has a boss weapon, the Spectre will use that weapon. Otherwise, it uses the first boss weapon, the 7-coil spring sword. Now, whether that means anything, like whether that might be Carlo's weapon when he was a stalker, or if that's just the first boss weapon and that's why they do it, there is this thought that, you know, with no online, you are basically relying on a specter, a ghost from yourself in the future, or a parallel alternate reality dimension, because those are all things that are canon in this as well. And you are calling on yourself to help. And I think that is, this game's narrative just good. It is so deep and so well done. I don't think there's another Souls-like that has nailed this level of storytelling anywhere near as much as Lies of P, besides FromSoft themselves, which is why I think that this absolutely stands alongside FromSoft's own. But yeah, I think that's it for my big lore recap and shower thoughts podcast moment. That was literally just 30 minutes of me talking about lore. Hello, I am Canadian VTuber. I like Twinkinocchio. This game's a fucking masterpiece. All right, back at it at Krispy Kreme. Let's get back to the game.
Did you hear that? Could that be Leia? No one in our time knows how she disappeared or how she died, even if she died. Here's hoping it's got nothing to do with this deeply disturbing alchemist facility, at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. So that's locked. Okay, there is an item there. And there's a shortcut door. Okay, presumably we're going to turn that off at some point. While we're here, while we're next to the Stargazer, let's see how bad this is. Oh, it's pretty bad. It's pretty awful. Yeah. It's pretty rough. I don't think we're going to be able to open this, but, yeah, okay, it's frozen shut. Yeah, should have expected that. Well, if we never freeze to death during the playthrough, this is a good place to go and do that. Oh, hey, we discovered a little staircase. Nice little shortcut bridge. Okay, we need another black rabbit key. Oh. That's not what I expected. That is, in fact, a shortcut down from above. Nifty. You know, for this game being linear, it does still have some really nice verticality, and the levels still loop back on themselves in a satisfying way. Hi. Ow. Also, I think it's really interesting that FromSoft has not only created their own genre, being Souls-likes, but they have also made Sekiro-likes as a subgenre of Souls-likes. And I know that they're just kind of almost two sides of the same coin, but it's still interesting because now we have, like, most of the Korean Souls-likes have taken inspiration from Sekiro more than anything else. Because there's Kazan in this, and I think Stellar Blade also has a focus on perfect blocking. I almost kind of want to go back and play that demo again. I might do that off stream. No. I was hoping my iframes would last. No such luck. But yeah, I think I might do another run through of the Stellar Blade demo, or at least the boss fights. I think if I load my demo save, I spawn right in front of the boss. I want to give that another go to see how the timing on perfect blocks and whatnot is in that game. Because I remember not really vibing with it, but now that I've played Kazan in this, and I have grasped the essence of Sekiro-likes, and discovered that, like, this is a weird combination where Sekiro-likes are kind of in between Souls-likes and character action games. That's a thing I'm gonna still maintain. And I think that is a happy medium that, oh, torso time. That really appeals to me and is, whoa, boy. All right. Okay. Yeah, I do wish that there was something that would give me more poise so that I wouldn't get interrupted. But that's not really a thing in this game. I think that's really just tied to weapons and movesets. Which I was thinking I probably shouldn't have just upgraded the blade for the Vanini rocket spear. Because I probably could have put something else in there instead, but, you know, whatever. We'll be getting a lot of upgrade materials over multiple playthroughs that I'm actually curious if you get enough materials. Nope, I didn't see that. The lever that indicates I'm on the reverse side. Okay, that bundle of wires made me think that was an enemy hanging from the ceiling. I am curious if, because everything seems to be scripted around two extra playthroughs, if you'll get enough materials to upgrade, like, every blade. I'm confident that you can at least probably upgrade every special weapon. Ooh, okay. Don't like that. I think it's, again, really interesting how we're getting attacks that are coating us with a decay-like substance, but none of these are inflicting us with decay. Oh yeah, something I forgot to touch on. So again, I keep referencing how Geppetto and Simon give me Dr. Light and Dr. Wily vibes. And then we have, you know, the King of Puppets boss fight immediately followed by Victor. So I definitely think there is kind of a metaphor of, like, maybe Proto Man and Bass, or Zero, depending on how you want to interpret that. I mean, technically, like, Zero's thing is caused by the Sigma virus, similar to the petrification disease. Ah! Don't like that. So, you know, there's something there. I see. You run over here to try and get away. That's a really fast projectile. I find that really funny. Could have sworn that would have been a valve I could have... Oh, yeah? Time for a prison break. No? Oh, you're gross. But yeah, like, absolutely, there's still this this contrast between elements that are very Mega Man and elements that are very Resident Evil. And again, there's something to be said about maybe comparing Ergo to Las Plagas and how it was discovered. Oh god, we're out of stamina. That somehow worked. And yeah, I think the main reason I keep comparing this to character action games is, like, although character action is not necessarily about memorizing and perfectly pairing bosses, you can do that, certainly, but it's not about that. The nature of, again, crowd control, which is always a big part of those games, and doing stylish combos and whatnot, and just optimizing all aspects of what you're doing with the controls, I feel like that really leans into the requirement for perfect guarding in games like this. And the fact that it is, again, with Souls-likes, there's a decent amount of... You have a lot of tools with which you can kind of force things by either, like, min-maxing certain things or using particularly effective spells or weapons. But in this, you kind of need to... You do need to get good. You need to learn. Because there's really no such thing as a true battle of attrition in this game. You will eventually die if you don't learn. And I definitely think that is a matter of this game's level of challenge, or this subgenre's level of challenge compared to regular Souls-likes, in that some people aren't necessarily going to click with that or find that demand interesting. Whoa. Oh, now you have become torsified. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It is a bit unfortunate, but it's why I am really happy that this game, of any game, managed to get difficulty levels, and I can only imagine that that's going to carry forward in the future. I think Kazan might have had difficulty levels too. Yeah, it had an easy mode. It had an easy mode compared to normal. I don't remember if Stellar Blade did. Might have to look that up in a second. But I do think that as these games are embracing a more linear, discrete narrative, that is the way to go about it. Because I want people to experience these games, especially this one. And like, it's definitely getting to the point where I would probably recommend this over Elden Ring in terms of pure quality. But Elden Ring is still probably the better introduction to the genre. So for a Souls-like, Elden Ring. If you played a Souls-like before and didn't bounce off of it, then I would say this is the next one to check out. Tenacious Amulet. Only through unwavering determination can one withstand shock. The instinct of a puppet fighting to survive could also be called tenacity. Reduces shock and break effects, which I don't really care about. There's also something to be said about how in the narrative, we encountered the green puppet devouring monster. Are we okay? Let me finish that thought. So we encountered the green puppet devouring monster, and we get the golden ergo from it. And then crowd starts shaking things up and causing the earthquake in Trot, and it starts breaking apart. And then the golden ergo starts appearing from the ground and causing disruption. And I suppose there are two different thoughts there. So my original theory is that it's basically like ergo poisoning, that is so concentrated, because that's what the golden ergo is supposed to be, that it becomes poisonous, or maybe interferes with other sources of ergo. Alternatively, disruption could be something that absorbs and nullifies ergo, and those golden ergo crystals coming from the ground are basically offshoots of crowd, basically trying to absorb your ergo. And if it absorbs your ergo, well, guess what? You're dead. And that's why you also start to produce the golden ergo, in theory, because you've been essentially linked to crowd through its spores or something. I don't know. That's just a thought. Crumpled interrogation log. A partially shredded interrogation log. Inquisitor. The rebuttal of the accused has failed to convince the order. No valid reason was offered for the slander of Marciona, the Enlightened One. Oh, I said Marconia before. I still forgot her name. Nor the termination of the experiment. Do you have anything more to? Accused. She must not create any more abominations. This is not the true path for humanity. Regrettable sacrifices must be made to pursue the path of truth. Honorable Inquisitor, I refer not merely to the sacrifice, but to us all. We have strayed from humanity's path. Is not the evolution of humanity the purpose of the order? Only if we begin from a shared principle of morality. Just look at those carcasses, the abominations she has created. The ego and metabolism of the original patients are gone, replaced by nothing more than the instinct to consume and survive. They may imitate features and gestures of their former selves, but that's more akin to rigor mortis than life. They are dead. As moral beings, we must give them peace. Redacted. The next pages are the most heavily damaged. As an agent of the Salamander Division, I was present at the scene of the fateful accident. Back then, Marciona meant nothing to the Order. She should have been disposed of. Instead, the Elders decided that her abnormal tendencies held value and invited her to join the ranks, and they were proven correct. But at what cost? What kind of monster implants the heart of the person who raised them into a puppet? Did she even mourn the loss of Redacted? Would you wish sentiment to stand in the way of the Enlightened One's greatest accomplishment? She opened the door to the Order's discovery of immortality. If that is what immortality is, I'd rather die a human. Nothing else in the report is legible. Okay. So, Marciona was likely the one who created Camille, if I had to hazard a guess here. Interesting. All right. It's an elevator?
I'd say the deceased was an alchemist. A high-ranking one, too. Could be the warden. Even he fell to the legendary stalker in a single blow. So, no warden, no control. Would explain all the chaos here.
Okay, this might not be progress. Hey.
No! Mercy! Please. Don't kill me. Please. See the legendary stalker. Just let me here. Oh, I'm not an alchemist. Spare me. Spare my life. Please. Please.
Did they experiment on you? About the legendary stalker.
I heard she was looking for someone. I heard it. I did. To think I tried to kill her. The legend herself. Twice. What an idiot I am. Good thing I failed. Failed twice. I never could. But I wanted to. But no, I'm sorry. A stalker. Gone. But still, she went deeper into the laboratory.
Now, were you a prisoner or were you working with an alchemist? Is the question. Also, Itchy Tasty. What are you doing here?
We
Veronique.
Veronique. Yes.
Wolf?
And we were a vanguard. But it was a trap. The alchemists were waiting in ambush. The things they did. But that's over. They're gone, aren't they? Everything's wrong. What strange drugs did they fill me with? Don't deny it. It is slow, but sure. Steady. And so strange. I will become a monster. I have seen such things. My fellow vanguard. Now, monsters all. Please. I don't want to die. No alive. Help me. Please. Spare me. Spare.
Well,
I have seen. Help me.
I mean, you're asking me to spare your life, but I feel like the solution here is to end it. Cross-covered instructions. My brothers and sisters, I bring orders from Pistris. May the path of truth be realized. I have come to a decision at last. A master who has betrayed the truth is no master at all. A church that has betrayed our trust is no friend of ours. We shall bear the light that illuminates the desecrated path of truth once again. We shall deploy all forces from the Zelator underground facility. Until we return, defend the coolant control room and deal with any intruders. No one must breach our sanctum. Go. Defeat the enemies of the truth. Do not stop until the path of truth is realized. Awaken, evolve, ascend. Our immortality is inevitable. Yeah, so I think there's another, like, New Game Plus amulet that you could get here. Because the guide specifies the Legion amulet. I don't know, we should be killing that guy. Oh no, here it is. Legion armor attack. A stalker's powerful prosthetic can often turn the tide of battle. The strength of an army can be found in these inconspicuous prosthetics. Okay, that was actually something I was wondering about, is if stalkers use Legion arms as well. I couldn't remember if that was a thing that had been established previously or not. I'm gonna go back to that room with, yeah, this place. I don't know if that was worth it, but also none of those doors seem to actually open, so yeah. At least freeze seems to run out pretty quick. God damn it. Man. Hey, Ida. You missed a big lore dump that you probably would have appreciated. I was a big boy and had a big think. And I turned into a real YouTuber. Like Pinocchio turns into a real boy, I turned into a real content creator, and I had like a 30-minute lore recap and breakdown of some things that I thought about while I was in bed and in the shower. The bed wasn't in the shower, but I think that's called waterboarding. Yeah, again, it's a big talk about, like, spoilers and stuff, so I guess the question is how much you care about, maybe checking this game out yourself, or if you've been living vicariously through my playthrough here. Oh boy. Damn it. I knew I should have blocked. Although I probably still would have gotten chipped out anyway. That is fair. I mean, I have my own hang-ups. Like, I preface my whole spiel with, like, I more or less avoid reading item descriptions and Souls-likes because there's just so much shit. Like, I've never been a big fan of using just text dumps and audio logs as a means of telling stories. There are some games that do a really effective job of it, like I think BioShock is pretty well known for doing that. And I do think that because this game is linear, it makes it easier to pick things up in a logical order and appreciate the story. Because there's no confusion about like the order that you're doing things and picking things up, or you know, whether one thing is related to a certain zone's backstory or whatnot. You know, they can more carefully craft the narrative and teach you things about the backstory of the game when the writers want to. Plus, this game also has actual journals and written lore that isn't just hidden in item descriptions. I mean, Dead Space might be in the same book as, I mean, I suppose, if we think about it less from the concept of a Souls-like and more from the concept of survival horror really is the genre that makes journals a consistent and enjoyable part of the narrative. Like Resident Evil, Dead Space. This game, I consider this game a survival horror. Like, again, I legitimately think that this game is Mega Man meets Resident Evil meets Dark Souls. Skadoosh! Mega Man, Resident Evil, Dark Souls, Pinocchio. It's such a mishmash. Whoa, boy! Yeah, and it's always a little silly when they're writing trails off mid-sentence. And it's like, wow. You know, it's one thing if your mind is failing you, you know, and you're devolving into Itchy Tasty. But it's another thing if you're like in the middle of writing something and then you just stop, either to run away or whatever. It's like, if you're kind of committing to writing this, you may as well finish. But again, that's another reason why I think that this game is something that is exceptional in this space, because it can be enjoyed. Like, yes, it is a Souls-like, it is a Sekiro-like. That's another thing that it takes inspiration from. You know, it's taking stuff from all these different sources that I just rattle off. But it can be enjoyed as almost any one of those things, and it's like how I always point out how Assassin's Creed kind of started the trend of using the right trigger for sprinting and parkour, so that face buttons can be used for other things like stealth or investigative modes and stuff like that. You then start seeing this transition over to Rayman, which makes sense because that's Ubisoft, but also like Sonic Lost World, and pretty much any other open world game uses the Assassin's Creed controls as inspiration to some extent. Maybe not the face buttons, because again, now some of them have started doing Souls-like controls, and that's, again, another thing where Souls-likes really have become the de facto action, like, so America never really caught on to character action games, but man, does everybody love the Souls-like controls of R1 light attack, R2 heavy attack, and matching your shoulder buttons to your limbs, which technically, if you think about it, you know what, I would wager, I don't even remember this, I only played Assassin's Creed Origins a little bit, but I think it controlled in a similar way, because like the entire Assassin's Creed control scheme was based around the concept of every face button is a limb. So your left arm would be square, your right arm would be circle, Your actions done with your feet, like jumping, would be done with X. Triangle was your head button. That's what you would use to activate eagle vision, you know? And I feel like the Souls genre has also just kind of... Okay, that's a shortcut from the other side, so let's do that first. Before we go down to the frozen hole I saw before. But yeah, it's just interesting to see when certain games come along and kind of change the foundation of different genres. Because, like, absolutely, during previous generations, I think the standard for Western action games was, we're just going to make this a third-person cover shooter. You know, like Gears of War, Uncharted, even like the Tomb Raider remake ended up following that formula. And like, that was good. That was confident. It was comfortable. But it was also kind of strange that all these games started just ending up all kind of playing the same. And then we have history repeating itself. Puppet of the Future's Welder Blade. Bum ba-dum bum bum. So these are the big tall guys with the iron ball arms. I don't know what this welder blade has to do with anything. A heavy blade taken from special equipment that welds the... Oh, it welds the puppets of the future together. The thickness of the blade allows immense heat to be momentarily contained within it, but it dissipates just as quickly. The puppets of the future were built to do the work of the future, as the name implies, and to build the future, the past must sometimes be broken. The industrial hand grip of the special equipment that welds the puppets of the future together. Its unique heating mechanism enhances the heavy iron blade's lack of firepower. Even the puppets of the future could only endure the intense heat from the equipment for so long. These puppets were like an assembly of melted puppets that would, given time, become welded together. Oh, so that's why... Okay, I didn't notice that when we were in Vanini's workshop, but I did notice it in the swamp, and I thought that was just part of them stomping around essentially a puppet graveyard. But no, that was in fact... They were a goddamn fucking puppet chimera. I know in my previous clip I used the word homunculus, refers to an artificial human. And yes, I cringe over the fact that I used that word, and now it's archived in a really good clip. And not... Because I did correct myself and say chimera and cockatrice at different points, but not the one that was clippable. That is, of course, the challenge of being in the moment. Let's say the wrong thing, and then someone's gonna be like, you know, homunculus and human. But then I can just be really snide and be like, well, humans are the real monsters, you see. The fucking... That's the real, like, horror strawman argument, you know? Oh, do they in fact disappear for good after a while? Yeah. Damn it. So, are the alchemists with these things basically like prison guards, or was this the, oh, hi. The legendary stalker? That, was, Oh, there's physics on that. That's weird. Yeah, and that's oh well. Yes, exactly, Ida. By the way, I feel like this might be up your alley. Apparently, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is out on Netflix. I have it downloaded. I'm curious to check it out. It's apparently really good. Someone was complaining that it should have been in theaters. That it's a very
It's really sad, but there wasn't any way to save him.
I mean, he didn't become a monster yet. Yeah, I'm very interested in checking it out. He also did a Pinocchio one, but, like, I'm not going to watch that just because of this, you know? If there was an adaptation of this with Femboy Twinkinocchio, I mean, then you'd have me, but... But I did mention during my my lore dump earlier that one of the bosses, he might have actually been here for that one, Victor, the wrestler guy, is very clearly a reference to Frankenstein. Yeah, and that would be perfect. And that would be perfect. I want Liza P movie with Timothy Coffee Mocha Latte. Cafe Mocha Latte. I think that pun works better with that word. All right, round two. It starts that so early, I keep expecting it's gonna have a lot more range than it does. Oh, okay. He's got a shoulder check. Oh god. Oh god. Oh. I forget what shock does. I think it fucks with my stamina. Yeah, it's coming back super slow. Ooh! Juicer! Nope. Okay. Oh, it's behind. It changed to behind him for some reason. Weird. Oh well. Ow. That'll do. Nice. Workshop unit union finished cartridge. So that's just gonna upgrade my resistance to basically everything. Yeah. Now we could get a bit more disruption resistance, but until we're fighting things that use it, this makes more sense. I do like that the DLC is introducing these things that the base game didn't. Oh. Oh, that unlocked this as well. Okay.
What exactly are the alchemists researching anyway? It has to be for a cure. How else could they justify such horrifying deeds? Oh, I want to forget what we saw, but I can't.
I mean, a cure is certainly involved. Okay. Yeah, now it goes down to 2. Yeah, so we're gonna stop leveling that up there. Okay. Let me just see what the soft caps are for motivity and technique. I'm still probably going to keep it balanced. And again, there isn't an extreme amount of consistency between because yeah, we're at the caps for vitality and vigor. And then capacity and arcane don't have caps. Ah, interesting. So there's technically a secondary soft cap for guard regain when it comes to vitality, which is actually 40. And then for... yeah, 40 seems to be the consistent thing. Hmm. Maybe I just keep going with more vitality, honestly. Because I really like guard regain. And that's kind of like one of your most important things. Also, I kind of just want to see the health bar get bigger. Because I like... something I do like is that our stamina bar is now, like, equal to our Fable. This satisfies the Mind Goblins. Yeah, so we're still getting 2 points on guard regain with each level. Yeah, so let's maybe get that up to like 40 or 39. Cool. All right. Okay, so we're about to find out who Veronique is.
Is that Veronique? She sounds completely insane. Leia could be facing off against her this very moment. But I bet we can help her. Let's hurry.
So we're gonna have to come at that from the other side, it seems. Oh. Oh, that broke. Behind us. Huh. Alright. Oh, that's annoying. But you know what? Sometimes... I was about to say, sometimes you just got a ball. Oh, I was correct, by the way. It is clockwork that's reversing. Oh, I'm so smart. Yeah, the double click the left stick to jump is always awkward, because I thought I had stopped sprinting. As I was trying to turn around. Yeah, you mentioned that before, but I was remarking earlier how, because they established that Sophia is essentially turning back time to help us in our quest, that there is basically a canon reason for why we come back after we die. And that is, in fact, the clock being rewound every time that happens on the death screen. Yeah. Oh, El Shaddai is another great one. I need to stream that sometime. That game's so cool. And that's another game like this and One-Chanbara that have an interesting durability-based mechanic. Where in One-Chanbara you're fighting a bunch of zombies and your blade gets covered in blood and eventually it starts getting stuck in enemies unless you clean it off. And then in El Shaddai you're fighting basically monsters made out of like an evil substance or whatever. It's based on the Book of Enoch. So there's some religious stuff there, like corruption or something, and your holy weapons become corrupted the more you fight, and you have to purify them regularly. Okay. Yes. Your holy armor breaks every time you get hit, like the Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins. Okay, we can't really get over there. Unless... I'm gonna die again, but it'll be funny probably. Yeah, a little funny. Let's see. Yeah, there was definitely some thought to that mechanic as well. It kind of required you to be constantly switching between different weapon types compared to typical character action games where you would just stick to your favorite. Now, I'm sure eventually this will loop back around, but I want to go open the Black Rabbit door now. I think that was up the stairs and on the left. This one is considerably less cozy because of the grating. The Eldest's gas mask and Black Death's protective apparel. The mask worn by the eldest of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood, this executioner mask signifies death in Krot's back alleys. Seriously? You think I'm in danger? On this street? Back already, big brother? The youngest. Oh, it's got the noose around the neck. Alright. Black Death's protective apparel. This outfit worn by the eldest of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. The outfit. This sturdy, stab-proof suit was designed to thwart death blows aimed at the Brotherhood. We grew up on streets where death was entertainment. In that environment, resentment follows your every footstep. As the eldest, my hope is that only I pay the price in our final moments. Diary of the Eldest. Got the family photo. A family photo of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood taken by the eldest. Although they are a group of criminals who committed countless evil deeds, this is a family photo they all cherish. Is that all 4 of them? No, that's only... We still have one more to get. Yeah, the Battle Maniac. I think we still need their outfit. El Shaddai is a weird one where it actually got a technical sequel called, I think it's called The Lost Child, which was like a dungeon crawler. I don't think you can purchase it anymore, unfortunately. Yeah, it didn't have a PC version. PS4, Vita, Switch. Yeah, it was removed from all platforms June 18th of 2023 due to publishing rights expiring. But Lucifer was in it as like a key, well, playing a similar role he did in the original. And then you could get Enoch as a recruitable character, I believe. I don't know if Enoch actually played into the narrative or anything, because I never really got around to playing it. I just know that that was a thing, and that's why I own it. Okay. So we go here. Okay, you actually drop into that pipe. Huh. Ow. Ow. There's another one. All right. All right. Ow. Ow. Okay. I'm not sure if freeze actually changes your parry timing. I think it just changes your attack timing. Oh. I didn't see that, that bend in the pipe. Yeah, okay. This is progress. It's a little strange that that is basically a... Well, I guess, yeah, you could roll over this way, but you take a shitload of fall damage. Ow. I mean, you still do. Yeah, I forget if we, were really told.
My mind is unraveling. All left alive will freeze here. This is
Oh.
where we die.
Well, there's her answer. She is the leader of the sweepers.
Leave this
Wow, okay.
for the sake of craft.
And she's got the, fucking hammer from God Eater.
All left alive will freeze here. This is where we die.
Ah, and she is a stalker boss, so she can be backstabbed. Okay, okay, that's over. Ow.
We must hold on.
That's cool. She's like a little, she has a little, like, ripcord that she pulls to cause it to vent. That's cool. Oh!
Never surrender!
You can't actually backstab her?
I am indomitable! Bear the pain, Veronique! Never surrender!
Ow! Ow. Oh, okay. She's got different attack speeds. Wow. Okay.
Don't lose reason, Veronique! Don't give up! Don't give in!
So I imagine if you backstab her during that is what triggers her counterattack.
Leave the
Yikes.
for the sake of craft!
I actually let go of the block button at some point during that spin. and just continued to block. Those attacks come so fast. So I do get the impression that's another thing that people take a while to learn playing this game, is that there are definitely some attacks you shouldn't even try to perfect parry. Because you have guard regain for a reason. But then there are those little after attacks that will deplete your guard regain if you're not careful.
No one must leave this laboratory for the sake of craft.
Okay, and we should definitely swap to our fire resistance. I do appreciate that this is a stalker boss fight that is actually, like, pretty challenging. Alright. So... yes.
All left alive will freeze here.
Also, with my luck, she's
This
probably
is where we die.
resistant to fire damage as well.
Hold on.
I'm stuck in the corner. Man.
I must hold on.
Fuck. Fuck.
Leave this laboratory for the sake of
I got
craft.
screwed over by my dagger's range there. She has these really nice, you know, wind-ups where you have the perfect opportunity to hit her, but I wasn't close enough. This should not be giving me as much trouble as it is.
All left alive will freeze here.
All right.
This is where we die.
Okay, yeah, I should be just flanking her more.
I must hold on.
Ow. Ugh. And those are the only attack that seems to do overheat. I mean, maybe when she buffs her weapons, that changes. There we go.
Don't lose reason, Veronique. Don't give up. Don't give in.
Yeah, okay. Now all her shit is doing overheat. Oh, man. And that becomes a lot deadlier since it locks you down. And if you're taking damage over time, the chip damage plus the overheat. Yeah, so I think that's the phase where I should maybe start picking my
All left alive
opportunities to
will
attack
freeze
more
here.
carefully and flanking her and
This is
backstabbing
where
her.
we die.
Man! is there going to be a second phase where she mutates? Because this is already pretty hard, and she already has a phase transition. I will say this arena kind of sucks because I had no choice but to get hit by that because I was stuck against those barrels.
Alchemist bastard! What did your drugs do to me?
Nice.
Don't lose reason, Veronique! Don't give up! Don't give in!
It's not great. Man.
This laboratory, for the sake of craft.
Yeah, this is a hard one. Like, I was just struggling to keep up consistent damage to trigger the stagger in that fight there.
It burns! My mind's ablaze! Make it stop!
I need to start defending against that overhead.
We must hold on!
That one specifically. Shit.
I must hold on!
Okay, that was really good.
Don't lose reason, Veronique! Don't give up! Don't give in!
Well, that was worth a try. Okay. Let's get some crit.
Don't lose reason, Veronique!
No! Bullshit, man!
For the sake of craft!
I don't even know how I took so much damage. Like, I thought my health was... I'm actually gonna take a look at that real quick. What? What caused so much damage all of a sudden? Is it the proccing of overheat? Oh yeah, overheat damages you real fast. Okay. So that single hammer hit combined with overheat triggering just melted
Is
me.
where we die!
I wonder if I have any amulets that resist overheat specifically. The timing on that is real awkward.
Alchemist bastard! What did your drugs do to me?
Ooh. Oh, right, because I have the Bloodborne effect where it does additional damage on a counter. So even if I don't charge it,
I must hold on.
nope, nope. God damn that shoulder check.
For the sake of Crouch.
Yeah, she's just got this really weird combination of long, slow attacks with big windups, and then the shoulder check she can just kind of throw in between a lot of those moves. So when you think you can get to safety, you can't.
All left alive will freeze here.
She's tricky.
This is where we die.
I don't agree with them having so many objects in this arena that that you can get stuck on. Come on, man.
For the sake of Crouch.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't like that. That spin to win combined with the overheat. Not a fan. I don't think this is a bad boss fight, but it's certainly an annoying one. Okay, instead of HP regen, weapon attribute. No, that's our attribute build up. Mm-hmm. No, we don't really have anything. Oh, yeah, we can, oh, we already have the strike resist? Fuck. Oh, no. Yeah, there's not much we can do to optimize. Just, yeah, I think we need to prioritize flanking her. Trying to heal to avoid that. Man. Yeah, this is a rough one. Yeah, I feel like this is a fight that we're maybe struggling with because we're not doing as much damage, and a heavier weapon might have a easier time dealing with it. I don't understand why sometimes yeah, this is doing some Code Vein stuff with the back hitbox.
Alchemist bastard!
Oh god. We're stuck again. No. There we go.
I am indomitable. Bear the pain, Veronique. Never surrender.
There we go. That's good. That was a lot of overheat that we inflicted on ourselves for no reason.
I am indomitable. Bear the pain, Veronique. Never surrender.
Fuck. Yeah, you know what? Let's just stand back. Let's heal. Okay. I thought I timed that. Apparently I did not. Motherfucker!
For the
Jesus!
sake of craft.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you have that they expect you to perfect block the spin to win, because that just like guarantees that you'll overheat. And yes, I know that there are items that we could use, and I've probably stocked up so many that I could be using to purge, but I'd rather not use it if I can avoid it.
Where we die.
Yeah! Man.
Alchemist bastard! What did your drugs do to me? I am indomitable.
Oh, that sucks.
Never surrender.
That is a really early phase change.
I must hold on. I am indomitable. Bear the pain, Veronique.
Oh my god.
Never surrender.
Oh, right, you can cleanse overheat by rolling. Duh! Duh! Okay, that changes quite a lot. There we go. And your hammer's broken, lady.
I am indomitable. Bear the pain, Veronique. Never surrender.
All right. Well, that knocked me far away. That was nice, actually. I wonder if she can't do her aftershock flame thing. Now that I've broken her hammer.
Never give in.
like the mechanism that allowed her to. Okay.
Forgive me. I did terrible things to you.
Of course. The fight where I learned that you can roll to purge overheat is the one where I beat it, but I don't even need like a second run. At least I don't think I did. About what happened?
Drug. Their cure. It twisted my mind. I put you in danger. I'm sorry. Please, I beg of you. Nothing must leave this place. This cursed lab. Those cursed beings.
Well...
The test subject. Created from the legacy of the ruins. The two-faced Overseer. It cannot be allowed to live. Do me this one last favor.
Sorry, it just came from the zoo. But the legendary stalker.
If you mean that red-headed stalker, she did pass through here. Back when I could still think straight. We were rivals once. In the end, she showed true compassion. I'm done. Head to the coast. Find Leia.
Salute, Veronique.
I die as I lived, without regret. Remember me, Veronique of Grant.
Veronique's will. This letter shall stand as my last will and epitaph. Many stalkers are collaborating with the alchemists in their vile human experiments. The shameless wretches. I cannot stand by and watch this betrayal. I plan to put an end to their treason. I leave this final message for my comrades, who have pledged to join me in this attack. None of us will survive. I am truly sorry. Veronique. Yeah, so can I take that hammer? I mean, you're not using it. A key obtained from Veronique in the coolant control room. It operates the console found in that room. Veronique, the leader of the sweepers, charged into the Zelator underground facility to put an end to the alchemist's dangerous experiments. Her mission ended in disaster. A deadly trap ensnared the sweepers, and despite their desperate fight to survive, they too became wretched monsters in the end. Leader of the sweepers ended up not being voiced by Ben Starr, but oh well. The mask worn by the leader of the sweepers. The gold on the horns has peeled, and the leather is stained blue. Endure, resist, destroy. She remained loyal to the way of the sweepers until the end. Battle apparel worn by the leader of the sweepers. It is rugged in shape, robust in build, and direct in function. Since long ago, these garments protected her, just as they protected her ancestors. In fact, they were worn with masks by the protectors of Krot even during the days before the Stalkers. That's all right. It's pretty cool. I don't like super bulky armor though, but it's pretty nice. But yeah, again, despite how much I was whining, I think that's a great boss fight. Just, yeah, I forgot the overheat mechanic. And that is important. This seems like a bad idea. Oh, we're detaching the coolant. Okay, never mind. Never mind. It was like... It looked like we were about to release something. Okay, now that door's no longer frozen shut. Got it.
Veronique fought until the bitter end. But even if we could have helped already, it was far too late. At least her suffering is over. I hope she can be at peace and rest now.
So is this gonna lead us back to that ladder that goes down? I do think this game does surprisingly well with its underground. What the fuck am I looking at? With its underground environments. Okay, so this is the carcass disposal mound. Oh yeah. Eesh. Eesh. So is this elevator gonna take me up just so I can take a ladder back down? Because, like, we came down a pretty long way during that one, down that one shaft. And I was wondering how I was gonna connect back around. Yeah, it definitely feels like the average expectation for skill level in the DLC is higher. Just on average, the boss fights have been more challenging, I feel. And again, this is just before... Is that golden arrow go? Yes, it is! Alright. Implants. Oh, what's... No, that's a person. That is a woman. That is a carcass that has manifested golden ergo. Hey. You are not... Oh, these are Eastern weapons. This is the original Aladoro.
I suppose I should expect to meet strange people in such a strange place. I smell blood on you. But, interesting. It's the blood of alchemists.
The tracker.
Still, that doesn't prove we aren't enemies.
Explain the situation.
Let me get this straight. Quite by accident, you found an object belonging to the legendary stalker at the zoo. If all that is true, can you show me this object? This is a photo of Leia and her two apprentices. This locket does belong to her. I'll take you at your word that you wish to help Leia. I'll trust you. For the moment.
Two apprentices, so
My
it is.
name is mine to hold. But you have my word that I am not your enemy, nor Leia's.
Really like his voice.
I consider any enemy of the alchemists an ally. Stay and rest a while.
What are you doing here, man?
I'm tracking a dangerous relic the alchemists freed from the ruins. A calamity that is wreaking torment upon Krat.
The arm of God?
But the immense power of that relic wasn't enough to satisfy the alchemists. They also retrieved the remains of the ancient warrior that was protecting it, and conducted vile experiments on their finds. These experiments have yielded results already, transforming one test subject into a living weapon. I must stop this monster before they unleash it upon the city. If you plan to continue exploring this facility, take this horn. Blow it if you find the two-faced Overseer. No matter where you are in this facility, I'll hear it.
Okay, this we're actually going to use. Because this is similar to the Spectres. This is one of apparently 2 opportunities to have an actual NPC come and help you. About your identity.
I'm just someone fighting against the alchemists. I have my reasons, but I must hide my identity to protect the person most dear to me. I can't rest until I finish investigating the alchemists. If you're open to it, I would like to ask for your assistance.
Because I heard there were opportunities to have NPCs help, but yes. Well, I'm not sure. So, like, that's the thing. Like, the Stargazers were something that were previously used by Stalkers, but I don't know if the teleportation is something that is actually really happening per se, or if that's just a game mechanic. But there is kind of an explanation to that, actually. So while there are speakers and recordings, the echo devices are not super common. In fact, they're only introduced in the DLC. And the only way of long-distance communication is something that one of your buddies discovers, which does interface with these Stargazers, but it is high-level technology that only like 2 or 3 people can use. I guess technically 4. 4 or 5. But it is not publicized that you can basically transfer messages through ergo waves, like radio waves, which also suggests that ergo is radioactive to an extent, potentially, which again goes back to spores and the mutations and etc. But yeah, I'll after this dialogue, I'm actually going to look up if there's any information that we discovered about the Stargazers and how they actually are intended to work lore-wise. I don't think they ever really expanded on that, apart from saying, yeah, Stalkers used to use these. About the legendary Stalker.
Legendary. Leia probably hates that title. She stepped up only because no one else could. Too many Stalkers were lost to that evil, murderous puppet. But a great title such as that comes with many risks. And now, Romeo is in danger. Leia is desperate to find any news of him. It must be even worse for her, since she has lost an apprentice once before.
Okay, so Carlo's already
ask
gone.
me anything more?
Gotcha. What happened to Romeo?
Trouble erupted at the zoo, and Romeo went to deal with it alone. Leia and Romeo had their own brand of justice. I wouldn't call them vigilantes, but they did their best. Regardless, Romeo could handle himself. Nothing should have troubled him on this mission. But he went missing. It's possible that this is some old grudge coming back to stab Leia in the back. Being the legendary Stalker does make you a constant target to resentful enemies.
Yeah, it could be trying to, because she's probably one of the few people that could thwart the alchemists. It's probably necessary to make her vulnerable to deal with her. How to find Leia?
Leia maintains several places along the coast that she uses as base camps. I'd seek her out in that area.
Let's talk about the gold coin tree.
Take a look at this. This tree. What could it possibly be? It looks almost human-like. I dare not imagine what plans they have for it. But I'm certain this tree bears significance.
Ew. Okay. So maybe not quite Golden Ergo. But whatever. Yeah, I don't remember what tied into the creation of the gold coin tree. How to reach the Rose Estate. But, I mean, that's what they were using to... I mean, maybe it is Golden Ergo. Because, like, they were using this to formulate the cure. How to reach the Rose Estate.
The Rose Estate, you say? I have heard whispers, mere rumors really, that an underground tram runs to the estate. If true, the tram should be at the end of this very facility.
Okay.
If you find the Overseer, be sure to blow the horn. No matter where you are in this facility, I will come find you.
Daylight wreathed horn. A horn brought from the from the country of the morning. Use it when confronting the two-faced overseer in the underground facility to signal and summon the tracker. To endure the night, a hope that someone's sun will rise is needed. To help someone is to pass on that hope to each other. That's a weird way of going about that. Oh well.
If you are indeed battling against the alchemists, then I consider us allies. If you find the Overseer...
Okay. So, first... Stargazer. And then Gold Coin Tree. Okay, yeah. So one thing that we did learn about is that they suck ergo out of the air. So like the masks that all the stalkers wear have air filters in them. So because ergo is bad for humans, and that's what's causing the petrification disease, that is the reason they were installed. And no, you are actually correct, Ida. Apparently stalkers harnessed its powers to move effortlessly between distances. And there was a loading screen tip that mentioned that. So yeah, but you can only teleport between stargazers. So, you know, it doesn't mean that there's necessarily a stargazer. And again, you presumably have to interact with it rather than just using them freely. But that could also be a gameplay contrivance. And of course, all these star metaphors are references to When You Wish Upon a Star from the Disney Pinocchio. Okay. Golden Coin Tree. Yeah, so that's a reference to the Field of Miracles, where Pinocchio was tricked into buying coins. And so if we actually go back and look at the gold coin tree, it becomes apparent when you look at it from a certain angle. I'll remember to do this later, hopefully, that it is a woman bent over and her long hair is the branches. And there was a detail somewhere that and this could be from later in the DLC, but I see it, so I may as well read it now, that apparently listeners like Sophia were turned into gold coin trees. So people that have the compatibility with ergo or the ability to interface with it psychically for whatever reason, it seems that when they are mutated, they become that by way of the petrification disease. And they spread the cure slash basically the T virus. Because again, remember, the T virus came from a African flower that would dope up, basically roid out anyone who took it, but with a high chance of mortality. And the people that survive would become, you know, the strong leaders of their African tribe. And then they basically took that and turned it into a device that reanimates the dead and makes them stronger. The Order's Letter of Reprimand. An old letter coated in a thick layer of dust. Do not forget the importance of the listeners. This recent situation is the regrettable consequence. I've repeatedly emphasized the value of these specific individuals. They must always be approached with great care. Now, this recent series of accidents has robbed us of a listener candidate. This is a significant loss. I acknowledge that managing this specific candidate was difficult due to the subject's position and the high amount of interest in her. However, this accident resulted in her death, the mysterious death of a family member of the head of the workshop union. This is something that even the Order does not condone. Family member of the head of... Is that Camille? Do not forget that exhaustive measures and even terminations had to be carried out to cover up her death and our complicity. The members who planned this misguided experiment will be dealt with. They were not authorized to attempt to create linkages between listeners and the Great One's relics. If a similar incident occurs in the future, the Order will not hesitate to punish those responsible. You can never be too careful when approaching a listener. Ensure you proceed with the utmost caution. Huh. Because, yeah, they probably know that you're coming with their psychic powers. Yeah. No. Geppetto is the head of the workshop union. That, what we just saw, may have been Camille, or this is at least explaining how Camille perished and was eventually turned into the first puppet with an ego. Oh. Klaus's luxury bag. It'll expand his shop. I think we only got one disc, though. That should be over here, right? Yeah. A bag bearing Klaus's signature. Klaus will undoubtedly reward the kindness of the one who returns it to him. There's a saying among the alleyway thieves: never steal Klaus's bag. There will always be something inside that exceeds what any thief can handle. Weird. Yeah, I think we can wait on that. Okay, so that lets us out here. Oh, sorry, I missed your more recent message, Ida. The closest I can think of is that the Souls games have had not necessarily previous areas per se, but Dark Souls, actually all the Dark Souls games have had something like that. Dark Souls 1 and 3 had the dragons, and I believe the dragon on the bridge in Dark Souls 1 will eventually fly off and go somewhere else, and you can encounter it later. I think there's also a dragon, like a black dragon that's really hard that you encounter later that does something similar. In Dark Souls 3, there's a similar dragon in the first area that behaves like that. There's also the Pursuer, which appears periodically through Dark Souls 2. Just in random areas as you're exploring them for the first time. And you can fight them when they first appear, and then you can also fight them in a proper boss arena. And I forget if you get a bonus reward for fighting them when they first appear, just in the environment. But when they then updated the game with the Scholar of the First Sin, which redid a bunch of like enemy placements and stuff, I think they made some of those fights harder by throwing like additional enemies into the area where the Pursuer first shows up, just to troll people. Because like that was already like one of the game's first, like, if you're a baller, you can do this. And then they threw extra enemies in there as a nice little mean surprise. I might be mistaken, though. I'm just drawing from a memory of something I heard someone talk about. A chair set of art supplies. The case bears Goddard's name. This expensive set of art supplies bears signs of careful handling. Having lost her sight, the painter dreamt of guidance from a radiant light, and she stored her supplies with great care. Okay, so I am going to backtrack because I think this is progress. Because the collectible guide is referring to some other stuff, which I think is in the original Stargazer room. And I suppose you could also talk about stuff like Devil May Cry 4, where like Dante basically retraces Nero's steps and fights different bosses, or even refights bosses that Nero fought and didn't eliminate as he returns through them. But yeah, fast traveling backwards. I mean, yeah, some of the Souls games do have reasons for you to go back and speak with NPCs to progress side quests. I believe there are some occasions where you might go back to like Firelink Shrine and have to fight something. Like the Knight of Thorns or whatever. But okay. Who else is in this room? All right, you. Well, that worked out surprisingly smoothly. Ancient disc. It's just what the doctor ordered. So yeah, again, this genre seems to have done what you've talked about, just maybe not in the specific way that you were thinking of. Ow! Okay, did not expect that. That worked out. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. And Man, alright, these guys are annoying. There we go. There's so much healing used. Yeah, as long as you don't get frozen, you can stun lock them. But as soon as you get frozen, you're kind of subject to their attacks. Okay. Hi, man. We saw you before. Oh, that's fun. I was like, I don't know why so many enemies Sonic Spin Dash in this game. I feel like you kind of want to go in the corner to keep him from breaking anyone else out. Aha! These things kind of remind me of like the people catchers that the like Japanese police would use. Hello. News clipping. Breaking news! Cruise ship disaster. 13 souls lost. 13 noteworthy figures in Krat society are believed dead after a cruise ship belonging to one of the individuals capsized late last night. City officials inform us the excursion aboard the ship was part of an educational tour meant to give dignitaries a full view of Krat's history, culture, and philosophies. They further allege that an immediate family member of the head of the workshop union was among the fatalities. Attempts to contact the organizers of the fatal excursion have failed, and so far, they appear to have disappeared without a trace. While the families of the victims seek answers, city officials have designated the next 2 weeks an official remembrance period. Publish without redaction, and make sure to keep that reporter out of the loop. Yeah, so that's fake, literally fake news from The Alchemist to cover up the accident with Camille. Unless that was what actually happened, but I assume that she is the tree that we just saw. La Vendetta. The head of a shock-absorbing industrial blunt instrument that was assembled by the workshop union. Coils inside the weapon heat up from impact, causing a powerful explosion with the final attack. La Vendetta's purpose was different from its rival Aegis. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Thus, the name of the weapon embodied revenge. The grip and heft of a shock-absorbing weapon that was assembled by the workshop union. A powerful gyro installed strengthens the power of swings. As it always has, revenge leads to revenge, and death brings about more death. In the end, La Vendetta's developer met his death due to his unfinished masterpiece. Oh, that's a much larger weapon than I anticipated. Is this a gun sword? I think this is a gun sword. Oh. Maybe not. What was the last weapon that we picked up that sounded interesting? This one. Again, these things end up being a lot larger than I expect. Okay. Okay, so we're basically at the end of this this chapter here. So we'll just go a little bit further until we reach the first chapter 3 Stargazer. Where is this? I feel like we've been here before. Yeah, I'm gonna backtrack just because the collectibles guide says to not go up the ladder. I don't know if that's giving us like early access to a different area or what. Oh no, that's the only way back. Yeah, because we fell down that hole. Again. You know, guys like this, whenever they say something like that, it's like, I don't know how serious they're being when they're giving that advice. And I'm like, okay, am I gonna miss out on something if I go up the ladder? Or... And no, it's basically just saying, do that later. I want to check out that door that was frozen shut. It's probably going to tell us it can only be open from the other side. Oh. Yeah, we'll come back. We'll come back for that. I think we should actually do this now. Yeah, we need to give her this before we go to, before we reach a certain point in the game, or else that would render her quest incomplete. This first area was really, like, super good. The second area was kind of eh.
Those steps. I remember you. You're the one who helped me with my painting. Is something the matter?
Not bad. It just reminded me of a less interesting version of the Vanini workshop. Give her the art supplies.
What have you there? I smell ink, turpentine, and oil paint. You found my art supplies. I thought these gone forever when I lost them. And to think, a stranger would bring them back to me. Thank you. It's as if you've gifted me the light that I seek. Now, I can finally follow the path and complete my painting. My masterpiece. I have very little to give in return, but have this as a token of my gratitude. Now, I can find...
I mean, did you know that you hadn't actually painted anything? Yeah, the blood artist. I believe that was the... Was that a serial killer? Or was that the... We found one thing about that. And I have already forgotten... Yeah, okay, so we just go across here. I like how there's a custom animation for rolling out of... Oh, actually, there's a reason for that. So, with the quartz system, apparently when the game first launched, one of the upgrades in the second phase was that. The quick get up. And people complained that that should probably be a base game skill. Ow. Okay. You are not the same guy. You got the same gun, more or less, but... Oh, come on, get out of there. Ow. That's my own fault. Oh. Oh, that actually made me jump. For a second I thought this was the same room where you fought that mini-boss before, but no. That'll do. Oh no. There we go. Yeah, it's nice having an actual, like, proper ranged weapon. Probably see if there's anything... No. But it will suck if I fall down there. Ah, there's a torso. And of course, we gotta remember that we do get pushed backwards. Maybe not. Cool. Man. Oh, another one of you. That worked out. It worked out really well. Yeah, 'cause this game really is not about ranged weapons. Like, yeah, there's the eagle shot or whatever, but that's on a...
I think our test subject is behind that door. Where else could it be? Nerves of steel, buddy. Alright, now let's show this overseer who it's dealing with.
Huh. Didn't actually expect we'd have another boss to fight. So are these guys just gonna like drop down? Why are they up there? Oh, can I get there? Can I maybe get from over there? Maybe. There we go. I was kind of waiting for that attack for the longest time. Oh, I gotta go behind it. Yeah. Hey, we got quartz. Let's go. Genius Meister's pocket watch. Can only be sold. Okay. A pocket watch so exquisite and intricate it elicits a gasp. Someone who recognizes its value will want to buy it, regardless of how expensive it is. The technicians who founded the workshop union were originally renowned watchmakers. The pocket watches they crafted in their younger days are said to still fetch high prices among collectors. Huh. Well, we got a level we should probably go back and spend. Wait, we unlocked a shortcut, didn't we? Although I do want to see if there's a way to get over there. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Was there something I could drop down to? Or that might have been an area we were at before. Oh, I'm just blind. Never mind. Rude. Oh, there you go. That'll work. And I think that's just set dressing. Alright. So we got our run back. I wonder if this leads to the door that was frozen shut. No. Okay, it just leads back around there. Got it. Okay. Well, that scared me. I forgot that we have the thing that regens our pulse cells. Well, I will get that queued up. Oh. I don't know what that icon refers to. What's going on in here? Ow. I mean, this must be a significant item, so I'm not sure. I mean, the guide also didn't mention the quartz that we just picked up, so... Oh, actually, no. I think it did mention a Legion caliber at some point. Alright, let's go see what's going on with this, apparent boss. Two-faced Overseer, huh? Oh, now that goes up by 4. Okay. Yeah, so we definitely still haven't hit the soft cap. Okay.
So this is where you hide, abomination.
Oh, that's cool!
I failed you.
Yeah, I got completely I was not expecting this to be what it was. I'm assuming this is mandatory progress. This boss isn't mentioned by the guide at all. Oh. Oh no.
So this is an abomination.
Nope. Yo! Alright.
Over here! That looks dangerous.
Yeah, no shit. Very nice. He's got Moonveil, basically. Wonder if it's a weapon that we already have. That is a head in a jar, I just noticed. But he's definitely using the bow.
What's that? Rest in peace, wretched warrior.
Bloody cipher machine. Yeah, hold on, let me double check something here, because I feel like... It's almost like they've completely missed a zone in this guide. Oh well. I have to play this like a normal video game where I'm not just being a completionist maniac. I know it's probably annoying hearing me talking about consulting a guide constantly, but again, I want to make sure I get all the things, because Souls-likes are notorious for making it hard to get all the things. Mechanical device containing cipher records. There may be someone who can decrypt the cipher fast. The kings of Krot used cipher machines to conceal truths that must remain buried. It was the means by which they shrouded the truth in darkness. No, what is that weapon? Is that the dragon sword or whatever? Well, that's a fancy, like, red bow.
A hard-fought victory over a dangerous opponent. But we have granted its soul eternal rest. May this creature which woke to misery find peace. You showed great skill during this fight. You must have had a great teacher. In fact, your fighting style reminds me of someone. Well, my mission here is complete. I'll make my way to Hotel Krot from here. If you're looking for more clues about the alchemists, you should head there as well.
All right, fair enough.
Well, my mission here is complete.
Cool. I don't think that would have been a particularly difficult boss. I know that I was mostly turning my brain off and just going in. But that's just because I wanted to keep the tracker alive, because I know in Dark Souls 2, there were character quests where they had to be summoned for and then survived like 2 out of 3 boss fights that they could appear in, or else their quests would fail. And I don't think this game would do that, but it's possible we may have missed out on that dialogue if he died. Oh. That was a nice transition.
I need more time.
Oh no.
I'm coming, Romeo.
Did you take the
I
cure?
swear I won't be late. Not again. Not like I was with Carlo.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That was Carlo's passing that we saw in the memories at the end of the game. Okay. Did we miss a Stargazer back here? Nope. Records stored in the device can be decrypted by the tracker. Killed your rival.
Well, if it isn't the lad who stalks the legendary stalker. I didn't see you there. Are you hurt anywhere? No, you're not. So very glad to know you are unharmed, my good fellow. Like me, surely you've heard of the tragedy of the Zelator underground facility.
Uh-huh.
Such a loss. And Veronique, to think she met such a horrible end. It rends my very heart in two. We disagreed on nearly everything, but there was respect. And on her part, greatness. I must know. Did she say anything to you before she died?
She said to follow Leia.
The legendary stalker. And you know where she's going. If you do, there may be a way we can offer her a bit of assistance.
How to reach the Rose Estate?
The Rose Estate? Ah, you are perhaps seeking the Alchemist tram. There was a tram here once, a long time ago, but it was deep underground. Deeper than here. You can keep looking for it, but that tram to the Rose Estate's been out of commission for ages. I had assumed Veronique's Vanguard took it down for, permanent maintenance. But you might yet be in luck. If you're looking for a route to the sea, take this. This key was given to me by an alchemist before he expired. He claimed it opened a secret passage to the coast. You can get more use from that key than I. Just past the ruins of the tram station, you'll see an entrance. Not sure why I held on to it. I just had a feeling it could be useful to someone.
What this place is?
This is alchemist territory. One might say this place is where all the ergo we use comes from.
Uh-huh.
But the alchemists found something else underground. Something so dangerous, most of them fled. They'd say, retreated. Only mining puppets left in there now, still working away. But that doesn't make it safe. Let caution be your watchword.
What are you doing here?
Me? I had some things to look into, investigating this and that.
Okay.
As it happened, I took a rather pointless detour. But I'm still doing my best, trying to, do something good.
Sure.
Veronique was my rival. But was she a hero? Yes. And did seeing her lead me to self-reflection? Yes, it did.
And as I reflected, I've learned I simply do not have the courage for, self-sacrifice. I'm no hero. There is no greatness within this coward's body. It seems I'm really nothing like her.
What's that danger underground about?
Oh, I've only heard rumors. I certainly haven't seen it in person. I've heard alchemists found it sealed away in the ruins deeper underground. Now, I don't buy this, but my sources claim the discovery was alive. But not human.
Is it crowd?
Perhaps that is why the alchemists seem to have cleared out.
That would be really exciting. And unexpected, honestly. I thought that they would leave that for another game. Alright.
You heard something more?
Secret Ruins Key, an old and weathered key. It's worn smooth from frequent use. Although the key is made of bronze, it shines like gold, having been well worn by countless hands through the ages. It has been passed from person to person through many routes, much like a troublesome problem. Okay, so apparently, if we actually backtrack from here, it meant a shortcut path though, so oh, it's this. Okay. We'll leave that for next time then. There's a drop-off point with a quote-unquote secret boss, which is probably just like a hunter or a stalker. All right, let's see what we got here. Alright, so... Oh man, that snow... Just getting a glimpse of that, that was gorgeous. That is so well done, dude. Cipher machines are devices that hold the alchemist's secret information. The tracker can decrypt cipher machines using matching keys. With the decoded text, you can find secret clues hidden around crotch. Howdy.
You made it out of the underground facility. I'm glad you're okay. Speaking of which, I see you have an alchemist's cipher machine. These are devices used to store confidential information. Decrypting it should reveal what the owner is hidden, but it requires a matching key. Luckily, I found a few during my travels.
Oh, convenient.
If I might, I will take it off your hands. I can't offer anything in exchange, but if I can unlock it, we could gain valuable insight about the alchemists.
Lore drop?
We share a common enemy, so I would like to offer my cooperation. Any enemy of the alchemists is a friend of mine. Come to me anytime.
About Leia.
I'm unsure if I should even tell you this. Leia suffers from the petrification disease. She hides it from the world, but she can't fool me. I have no idea how long she has left, but for someone like her, it is a wretched, tragic fate. There's very little to be done to help her. It is frustrating.
So if we don't fight Romeo, we fight her. Not a way to cure her.
Since Leia and I are not strangers to one another, I have been seeking a cure, but so far to no avail. The official statement is that the alchemists are developing a cure. But I would be wary of any help they offered. Perhaps a true cure will be found someday. But there's nothing we can do for her right now.
How to help her?
I gave Leia painkillers that help her endure the worst of the disease. Regardless, it must be difficult.
Maybe that's what the
Please
liquid
help
is.
her by fighting at her side. In this moment, what she needs is an ally.
But yeah, like I was kind of worried, like I heard about, again, 1 or 2 potential opportunities for NPCs to help you in boss fights, and I was confused because we never encountered those in the base game, but it was during a podcast segment where they were talking about their experience with the DLC, and I didn't think that they were talking about the DLC specifically. About the gold coin tree.
Have you seen what's behind the hotel? Another tree that bears gold coin fruit. I believe the alchemists are attempting to reproduce this tree. Perhaps, I hope anyway, this tree is linked to the cure.
There's also a thought, if the gold coin fruit is basically golden ergo made from a person, and we established before that golden ergo might be attached to crowd and is capable of disrupting or absorbing ergo, that could be why it works as a cure for the petrification disease, because essentially it sucks out the blue ergo. That's a thought. About Romeo's disappearance.
I did some investigating on my own. As I suspected, Romeo's disappearance is linked to Leia's history. Perhaps you don't know. Long ago, Leia neutralized an infamous killer puppet. This act may be part of its revenge. At the moment, we know nothing of this puppet's whereabouts. That is what troubles me most. Look into the name, Arlecchino. I worry about Leia. This may be a fight she cannot face alone. If you can, please lend her your strength.
I see. Arlecchino did mention something. I don't really remember the exact reference, but I think he did refer to killing someone in particular. Here's the bloody cipher machine.
Let's unlock it and see what's inside. We're in luck. It still functions. This reminds me of a tale I once heard about the ghost crocodile that haunts the zoo. Most people thought it was an urban legend, but I'd always found it troubling. Find the mounted crocodile at the zoo. It might provide a clue.
Okay. Target neutralized. No notable actions observed. Taxidermy secured in excellent condition as ordered. You are now the sole master of the zoo. Congratulations, Lady M. Huh. Yeah, there was something about apparently the taxidermist being found in its jaws or something.
The alchemists.
I forget the whole bit with that. But I was like, can I examine it to do something? And no, I couldn't. Yeah, so if we look at it from this angle, it becomes very clear. The body of a woman and then her hair. So, yeah. So we had that bag icon before, which is for Klaus, but I guess Klaus also wants the watch because there's like a little blue, like, up symbol for him as well.
cannot believe my eyes. You found one of my discs. I'm touched, truly. Collecting may seem a silly thing to you, but this simple act connects me deeply to the larger world. Just imagine, who were the ancient beings who engraved these discs? Did they worship a god, curse a devil? Or had they endured dark times as we have and sought the solace of an angel? Imagining others reaching the light after a dark night gives me hope this nightmare will end. Now, if you find more discs, I will offer you other valuable rewards in exchange. Oh, dear me! An authentic pocket watch made by a master horologist of the age. A true masterpiece. See its distinctive shine? Huh?
Okay.
You know, the first workshop techs were master horologists, clockmakers from foreign lands. Their watches are as intricate as automated puppets. Isn't it just marvelous? My duty as a collector is to preserve these youthful passions of the greats. I would pay handsomely for this watch, if you are willing to sell it.
It does say it can only be sold. Let me just double check. Oh, no other use. There we go. You sold Klaus's favorite item. I don't think we got any rare ergo. Yeah. About Lumacchio.
Lumacchio? Oh, you just missed him. He left in a rush after receiving some documents. As the leader of the bastards, he is a busy fellow, you know.
About the legendary stalker.
The legendary backbreaker, you mean? No, I've heard nothing about her. All I know is that she is far too rough on ordinary citizens when rescuing them. Please tell her that from me if you see her. Oh, my back still aches. How will I ever reach the Rose Estate in this condition?
Add shot goods.
Oh my, you found my bag. Thank you. It may look ordinary on the outside, but the inside is filled with treasure. In fact, I'm quite certain it contains items you may find particularly useful. As a reward, I would be glad to sell some to you, huh? Well met, Master Stalker. Are you well?
All right, so we got more quartz. That's pretty good. Legion calibers. Veteran's eye patch, an eye patch worn by a stalker to protect an eye wounded in battle. It is said that the lost eye forever sees the moment of its destruction. May the eyes of others only see peace. Embroidered on the eye patch by veteran stalker. So quartz is always a given. And then I think amulets as well. Plundering amulet. Charges Fable when a fatal attack is successful. The easiest way to ensure victory on the battlefield comes down to securing resources. Plundering enemy resources and weaknesses is a time-honored tradition in warfare. And yeah, there was absolutely an achievement for getting all the weapons from the DLC, so I'm glad that I chose that option. I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, all weapons and Legion arms. And there's something I was gonna look up with respect to something we just talked about with this guy. Shit. What was it? No, it had nothing to do with that. It was the description of the DLC. So if I go to Steam. Go to Overture. Yeah, on the brink of the Puppet Frenzy Massacre. Okay, so yeah. So this is just before it all went down. Yeah, because I was kind of wondering, like, we're just dealing with alchemists, and we're just kind of going from one step to the next, with nothing in between. And yeah, we've encountered a couple puppets, but they've been Harkiona's puppets, and not necessarily and she seems to be the one that's been making. Oh wait, we can go over here. Oh yeah, I guess this is how we entered. Right. Okay, so we got quartz. So that icon was clearly. Yeah, we got that, and then we got quartz, and then. All right. So I spent my last quartz on upgrading the durability recovery. I do want to increase the Fable charge when reviving. I don't really care about Legion arm slots, or especially not the cube. Not even really the grindstone, honestly. Yeah, like, I think Fable slots would be the next most useful one. And, like, let's consider here. So, fail attack, stagger duration. Perfect Art Destruction's real good. Yeah, there was one. What was it? So there's Staggerable Window. Increases the time of enemy's staggerable status, which is the white bar, and then staggered duration, I think, is how long they remain staggered for after you have crit them. So I do kind of want to put one in here as like a reminder for later. Let's see. Now we have icons that tell us which ones can be further upgraded. That's nice. Yeah, so I feel like it's going to be lower damage when discharged 2. That might not even be bad either. Although one thought, so enhancing charge stagger attack. Now I don't do this often, but sometimes I do get greedy and I do a charge attack before the enemy has actually been staggered on the hopes that that'll be the attack that does it. So that may actually be... and I don't think that stamina is usually a concern for me when I attempt that. So I'm thinking that might be what we want to go with, because again, 1 will always be a better upgrade than 2, apparently. So I think... And then Stagger Duration and Perfect Guard Destruction are both fantastic. Yeah, there are a lot of ones that are worth investing in, but I want to say... So, in a single run... So we're only gonna get 4 more quartz for this run. So we'll have to be very choosy here. I guess my thought is maybe I should just invest in these, because assuming that this starts us off with 2 every time, that means we can always enter a boss fight with our ability. And the maximum number of Fable slots doesn't actually help us with that. And again, this is a very niche thing I don't really need. Whereas there's a bunch of things, so we could grab, like this wouldn't be bad, that wouldn't be bad, so that's 1, 2, okay, so let's say we have 6, alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Yeah, I think we have at least 4 that are spoken for, and then we can just kind of decide what to do with the last couple. So I think, yeah, we'll go charge Fable when reviving. Because I honestly just kind of want to know if that does what I expect it to do. So we'll grab that. And... Perfect Guard, Fable... Nah. Yeah, either Guard Regain or the Stagger Duration. Perfect Guard Destruction is also good, but it's also technically a resource that... So I think guard regain reduction is how much... It's not necessarily guard regain lost on hits. Because I think that's a different one. Yeah, so guard regain reduction would be the guard regain that bleeds over time. And I don't think that's as much of an issue as the amount that we lose on hit. So I'm fine leaving that for a moment. So I'm thinking staggered duration or perfect guard destruction. So more damage during a stagger or more staggers? I'm thinking that ultimately more staggers, or at least getting staggers faster, is going to help us beat bosses. I think we've kind of... I was thinking during this stream that some of the bosses really stayed staggered for a long chunk of time. And of course, I'm always towing that line and always worried that I'm going to miss my opportunity. But that only really happened for the guy that I had to backstab. So I'm thinking we'll get that next. But I think perfect guard destruction is going to be in our best interest right now. Plus, this will be better for mini bosses and everything in between. Where usually, if you get a crit on a non-boss enemy, that's kind of the end of the fight. So this will have more utility in every circumstance. All right, I'm pretty happy with those decisions. Whew. Theory crafting. Yeah, now it's gone down to 9. Well, let's keep pushing it to 40, I think. And eventually we'll probably have to start investing in capacity again if we keep getting... and like the +1 stuff on the new games will probably be heavier as well. So I'll definitely have to invest in that at some point. But I can also always switch to the amulet that gives me more carry weight, because I don't think I have that equipped right now. No. And I can always take off the health regen one for that, because that's... It's really good when exploring areas, but I think in boss fights it probably doesn't help very much. All right. Let's get this, and then that'll be the end of stream. And we are now 2/5 of the way through the DLC. It's 5 chapters compared to the base game's 11. So it's about as long as half the game, and that first zone again was very long. And I still think that was the best zone in the game with the best boss. But I also love, like, to go back to the Mega Man comparison, we had the green monster and the final boss, which... Whoa. My controller's vibrating. Like, pulsing. Like a heartbeat. Wait. Okay, I was very confused because the Stargazer didn't load in. That was strange. Yeah, this is weird. This was not like a mechanic in the base game. So I don't know why we're getting, like, reminders. Like, above and beyond just the map. or the teleport point reminder. Unless it's going to be like a really significant item. Upon closer inspection, one of the scales on the crocodile's mouth is actually a button. Confession, crocodile necropsy report. The likelihood that the crocodile consumed human flesh is low. I found no human tissue or blood between the reptile's teeth or within its gular fold. The reptile's throat was free of fibers that human clothing would have left behind. Furthermore, the wound on the colonel's corpse is inconsistent with the bite of the crocodile. In light of these facts, it is highly unlikely Rex, the crocodile, killed Colonel Little. I conclude this incident was in fact murder. Some writing is scribbled below the report. I should have known something like this would have happened. Something like this would happen the moment they took an interest in the zoo. If this note is read by someone of good and just character, please reveal the truth to the world. In my cowardice, I cannot. If this message gets buried away, I pray a great curse befalls those alchemist parasites. Okay. A dark secret of Krot discovered can be reported to the tracker. Okay. Is it though? I mean, we kind of already concluded that. Oh, the tusk broke off and impaled that guy. All right. I think I remembered commenting like, "Oh, where'd the other tusk go?" Just completely missed that. And yeah, since the automated puppets are made by the alchemists, it's very likely that Harkiona had some involvement there.
Any enemy of the alchemists.
Report on Krot's dark secrets. The secret of the mounted crocodile.
You investigated the mounted crocodile. So, Colonel Little was murdered. Most likely the taxidermist as well. To do something like this just to take control of the zoo. It seems human lives are nothing but tools to them. I'm glad you revealed the truth to their lies. You are a force for good. I am honored by our continued partnership.
Whirlwind amulet. Ooh.
Any enemy of the alchemists.
Increases physical damage temporarily when a dodge is successful. The wind cannot be caught by anyone. The harder you try to hold it, the more fiercely it will blow. Okay, and let's take a look. So I don't know if that's the same bow. Wind of Swords. I mean, we don't get a sheath like he does. But that is... So blue tip, and then red with white. Yeah. So if we go out here, and we do that. Yeah, okay. Oh. Interesting. Yeah, so it seems like Aladoro can do a bit more with that than we can. But I might be mistaken. I thought he did a lot more fancy attacks with that. Like, yeah, look how many... That first area is very large. Probably, like, one of the largest areas of the game, excluding the final chapter. And again, I think the final chapter was so long. Well, I mean, chapter 10 was so short. It just comes down to how they decide to split those things up. All right. And we shall resume this soon. Very nice. Well, y'all take care of yourselves, and I shall see ya when I see ya. Just gonna wait for my credits to slightly scroll on screen. And adios.